Hello everyone, welcome to the IES Mentor Ancient History series. In this video, we are going to understand what is the social life of Vedic people. So far we have completed geographical extent, who are Aryans, economic life as well. Now we are moving towards social life of Vedic people. As usual, Vedic people means you have to think about Rig Vedic people, that means early Vedic people, and later Vedic people. Let's try to analyze society of Vedic period. Let's have one table, because UPSC is also asking the question like this: explain the social conditions of Rig Vedic people and how it is changing in the later Vedic period. That's why it is easy for you to analyze if it is in the table format. Society means the subheadings of society or sub dimensions of society comes like family, population, women status, slavery is there or not, and education. These are the elements of society. Already Vedic period means you have to think about their economic conditions, social conditions, culture, art and culture, and so on. This is the main index. Again, within society you will get sub index. One by one, let us go. First one, population. Society, and this side population. What we are talking? This is about early Vedic period. In early Vedic period, how it is going to be, and in later Vedic period, how it is going to be. As usual, you have to think about the geographical location. This is very crucial. Then only you will really understand what kind of society is in and how it is changing over a period of time. One interesting element also you are going to get now. Now what we are talking here, Vedic people are the Rig Vedic people who were settling here. We are trying to understand what is the society of this, how they lived. And same is the case in later Vedic time period, what is the society. This is a pastoral, this is a settled one. In agriculture, in economy related video we have seen, this is a pastoral. That means nomadic or semi-nomadic, sometimes settled, sometimes move. When it comes to this, settled life. What is the population? When it comes to population of semi-nomadic people and settled life, which is going to be more in natural. Naturally, wherever people settle, wherever people need not to move frequently, there more and more population get accumulated. Even today also, UP state is the most populous state in India. Even today also, now same is the case that time also. Where more resources are there, more water resource, more soil resource, more forest resource, people need not to move from one place to the other place in search of better livelihood. Then once they settle there, naturally one generation, two generation, three generation, and so on. Here less population, here more population. This population is also tribal in nature, small tribal groups, and here more tribal groups come together and form one village. In this way, when it comes to this small society, small, and here large population. But we don't have any statistics, because we don't even know exact population size of 200 years ago. Only after census came into existence, then today we are trying to at least estimate some kind of number. That time there is no estimation. Probably based on the military size, whatever they referred, generally if you take 10% of the population is the military size. In some of the Rigvedic hymns they mentioned, like in one of the cases, the military size of one tribe is 10 people. That means if you take 10% of the population is military, then 100 people might be there in a tribe. Like that, multiple tribes will be there, but small tribe. So small tribes. Here large population because village settlement. Here also village, and here now villages as well as semi-urban or proto-urban. That's where the population is like this. Next one. After that, what about the family? This population. Now, when it comes to this, here jana or vis is the term used for population. Here also same. Vis or jana. But gradually, this jana is going to turn into Vaishyas. Vaishyas. Here more importance given to population. Here more importance they are going to give for the land. Janapada. Still Jana and Vish are going to be used, but this gradually Vish is going to enter into a new form, that is Vaishya. That's where when fourfold Varna system comes, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra is going to come. Next, family. Family. Again here also family. Even today also this is the same society which we are following. Here, joint family system. People is to live for many generations. And same is the case here also, joint family. Even now also, one of the core idea of Indian society is joint family. Even if Indians go to America or some other European countries also, one of the best element, best feature of Indians wherever they are settling, their family life. So generally, Indian society gives more importance to family. Independence of an individual, individualism also there in India. At the same time, family values, family responsibilities are also inculcated since childhood. That's why, because the tradition is coming from very long joint family system. Here also and here also. Even though urban areas are emerging, definitely joint family continues there also. When it comes to here, family, patriarchal family. Patriarchal. That means head of the family is going to be the eldest male member. Here also patriarchal. Size will change. Here joint family means family size may be small. Here more. Again patriarchal, patriarchal. And what about women conditions? Women conditions. Again here also within the family, what is the woman status? Women conditions. So when it comes to women conditions, here this is more liberal in nature. This side liberal in nature. Generally, even today also, if you go to tribal pockets, there even though male members are going to lead the family, still women have more freedom, more liberal in nature. But here rigidities came or restrictions started. More and more rituals, more and more population growth, and different values that prevalent in later Vedic period led to restrictions of women. Continuation of this. It itself is an important element. Women means what kind of no child marriage, no child marriage. Here child marriage instances. This is which area? This we are talking about Indus, and here we are talking about Gangetic Valley. Women status in Indus zone, early Vedic, Rig Vedic, and here later Vedic, child marriage. Next one. Here, no sati practice. And here, sati practice started prevalent. Next one. Widow remarriage. Also encouraged. Instances of widow remarriage also there. Here, no widow remarriage. Not encouraged. Now, women are becoming property. Here, liberality is there, liberal values, and here restrictions are coming. Next one. Parda system. No parda system. Here, no parda system, and here, prevalent of parda system. Child marriages, sati practice, no widow remarriage, parda system. That's why when during British time period, when Britishers and Christian missionaries were attacking these elements of the society, that means during British time period also they were prevalent. Till recent times also prevalent. Even now also, if you go to remote areas, you will see some of these practices. Despite abolition of sati practice in 1829, do you know latest evidence of sati practice in 1987 in Rajasthan? So that you can see, despite banning sati practice almost 200 years ago, in 1987 one instance came into limelight. Widow remarriage and parda system. Next one. That's why our freedom fighters used to talk about go back to Vedas. Whenever they are talking about women reformation or empowerment of women, they used to say about go back to Vedas. Go back to Vedas means they are talking about go back to Indus zone. That is, go back to early Vedic time period. Go back to Rig Vedic time period. This one. Next, when it comes to marriage, choice of marriage. They were given choice to whom they want to marry. Here, no choice of marriage. No choice of marriage. Now identify this one. This is whatever information we are getting. This is with respect to the Vedic people. So whatever women status. So this is women status. Women status of later Vedic period. From which source we are getting this? The source is Vedic texts. And here the what is the source? Source is Rig Veda. That's what early Vedic period means, only Rig Veda. Vedic text means other Vedas. 4 Vedas already we have seen in the previous sessions also. Different Vedas emerged. Now, what about those people who are not part of this Vedic tradition? Why? What is this one? Now, whenever this society is there, here whoever following Vedas or Vedic knowledge, who are living as per the Vedic tradition, the story from this only. But what about those people who are not following this? Who are they? They could be Neolithic people, Chalcolithic people. We have to identify, differentiate between 2 sections of the people. Or you consider non-Vedic people. Whatever we are talking about as a Vedic chapter, we are talking about Vedic people, those who are following Vedas. But they are living in this geographic location. In this geographic location, if you remember Stone Age chapter, this is the period, you remember Belan Valley. Belan Valley, 5000 BC itself, 5000 BC itself, people settlements are there. Mesolithic, Neolithic and OCP culture, 2000 BC to 1000 BC, 1500 BC, sorry. 1500 BC. So what is this one? This is, the area is this one. Ochre colored pottery, Belan Valley. Belan Valley and OCP. So what are those? Stone Age people and Chalcolithic people. Stone Age and Chalcolithic. They don't know Vedas, they don't know Rig Veda, they don't know other Vedas, but they are living there. Now, when some people who are following Rig Vedic tradition, when they migrate, and they are going to have in contact with these people also. Sometimes there may be conflict, but after some time they are going to merge. And whatever Vedic beliefs are there, they will. Now, when Belan Valley people or OCP people are simply forest people or any other type of people who are coming to contact with Vedic life, gradually they will also try to follow these practices. But those who are yet to come into contact with Vedic tradition, they will be like this. Even today also, that is so-called mainstream society, compare with Vedic people, compare with the tribal people are more advanced, more liberal than the mainstream society. Even today also, that is one of the characteristic of Indian society. That's where this is how whoever come into contact with Vedic life, here they will see. Again, it doesn't mean that everyone will follow sati practice, everyone will follow no widow remarriage, but generally the texts generally refer to this. That means whether it is a small number or big number, but this is prevalent. Because exactly how many people are following child marriage, how many people are not following, that statistics we don't have. But at least this practice is prevalent. And these practices are not prevalent means they have not referred in Rig Veda. That is what women's status. What about education? Education also given to access. Access to education. Access to education, and some of the women even composed Rigvedic hymns, and here not accessible to education. So it means generally women are not encouraged to go for studies, but it doesn't mean that a woman is not given education at all. Some women used to get education, and here majority of the people used to get education. That is what the difference you have to identify. Next one, even political assemblies, they used to participate in political assemblies. Sabha, Samiti, Vidata, such type of assemblies were there. They used to participate. Here, no access or restrictions to political assemblies. So simply, social status, economic status, political status of women reducing in this time period. On the other hand, in this time period, they were given access to education also, political access also, society status also, with no limitations. Or freedom was more there, freedom is less here. Patriarchal norms are less at this point. They are becoming stronger and stronger in this area. So this is where women status. So what you have told? Population you have seen, family, patriarchal, then women conditions or status. What about slavery? Slavery also prevalent. When it comes to this, slavery, there is a term called dasa and dashus. This is the term, the meaning of dasa is meaning servant or slave. It could be like Devadasa or Daivadasa. That means servant of the god. In that sense also, they were using this term dasa and dasyus. Generally, they were used for domestic purpose, domestic household purpose. Same, slavery. Here also prevalent. But the treatment of the slaves was not that harsh in comparison with the contemporary societies of the Greek. There also slavery was there, but the slaves treatment was very harsh. When it comes to India, that much harshness is not there, but definitely slavery is there. Generally, Shudras and women are taken as slaves. But it doesn't mean higher varnas also not becoming slaves. They were also becoming slaves, but these are the majority one. What is this term women mean? Women mean, this Shudra means hierarchy. By this time period, hierarchy. Fifth one, what is the social hierarchy? When it comes to early Vedic time period, is more liberal. There is a mobility among the social classes. The classes which mentioned are warrior classes, priestly classes, and common people. These are the classes: warrior class, priestly class, and common people. By the time later Vedic comes, this social hierarchy become fourfold Varna system. Entire society, as per the Vedic text, divide into 4 segments: Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. And untouchability referred to as Chandalas. They were not part of this fourfold Varna. 1, 2, 3, 4 Varna, Chaturvarna system. Social hierarchy is like this. Now, who are these people? Whoever following the Vedic knowledge, Vedic text, whoever come into contact with Vedic life, in that people, society, that classification happened. What about those people who have not yet come into contact with Vedic life at all? Deep forest is there. They were having their own lifestyle. Like today also, some of the deep pockets of India having tribal cultures. Many tribes are there. Andaman Nicobar, if you go, here also many tribes are there. They don't know about latest advanced topics, economic related, society related, and political related. They have their own way of life. Similarly, in this region also, geographic Gangetic Valley, some people have come into contact with Vedic tradition and some are yet to come into contact with Vedic tradition. Their life is like a early Vedic lifestyle or more liberal in sense. That is what you have to identify. Here, whoever come into contact with Vedic tradition, the Vedic text differentiated or segregated that society into fourfold. Even though it was fourfold, it appears as if it is a very rigid one, strictly people followed it. But it is not the case. Our history shows, as we move to the next chapters, you will see that there is mobility also within this. That we will see later. For example, when this Vedic knowledge enters into a new tribal area, and now when new tribal area, existing tribal area do not have this, but when this tribal area come into contact with Vedic tradition, after some time they are going to become like this. So how they are going to integrate the new tribal area means, for every tribal person or for every tribal group, there will be one priest. Gradually, that priest naturally attracted to the Brahmanical way of life. That tribe may have that warriors attract towards the Kshatriya way of life. And traders are common people. Vaishyas, Vaishya term comes from Vis means Jana. Initially, Vaishyas are not only engaged in trading, they were engaged in agriculture, artisan activities, trading also, other activities also. Likewise, in that new tribal area also, people working, hard working people enter into this area, laborers. Now Shudras, this is a still, there is no clarity who are these Shudras. When it comes to Shudras, the classification maintained that these Shudras are supposed to maintain or help the other three Varnas in the society. How this classification emerged, we do not know. But generally, the Varna means color based. The Central Asian migrants have white color, and those people who settle here have darker complexion. In that condition, in that context, Varna emerged first, outward appearance. But after some time, that gave a religious interpretation. This is where the problem emerged. This social hierarchy, religious sanction. That means it is not based on the society intention. It is not society created. Rather, Vedic text started telling that this is the creation done by the God only. When God created this kind of system, we should not touch it. In that way, it continues to prevalent in Indian society till recent times. After Indian Constitution came into existence, Article number 17 declared untouchability is a sin. Nobody should have this kind of practice. If anyone practice untouchability, they will be imprisoned. So with that constitution only, we tried to eliminate this kind of social hierarchy or vertical segregation of the society. Later, this Varna is going to become caste or Jati. Jati or caste. In later Vedic time period, fourfold Varna system emerged. The people whoever come into contact with Vedic tradition, they segregated into Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. They were, according to the religion, Brahmanas came from the forehead of God, Kshatriyas came from the shoulders of the god, Vaishyas came from the thighs of the god, and Shudras came from the feet of the god. But naturally, if you see anthropologically and socially how these kind of classifications will emerge, people move to these areas. When people move to these areas, they are going to come into contact with the local people also. And gradually, those who have control over knowledge, Brahmanas, ruling class Kshatriyas, then agriculture, trading activities, artisans, gradually common people, that is Vaishya. Then laborers of these all three sections became Shudras. That is how natural evolution. That's why social classification is like this. So social hierarchy emerged by this. So it means privileges entered. Privileges. Suppose if a person commit a crime, that a criminal is a Brahmana, one type of law applied. If a criminal is Shudra, one type of harsh penalty will be imposed. In that way, by birth privileges started, by birth it is clear. When it comes to this, within a same family, a person can be a physician, a person can be a poet, knowledge person, a person can be a worker also. Within the family also different professions, but here by birth profession also is going to be decided gradually. This is about social hierarchy. So which is more liberal? Overall, early Vedic is more liberal and later Vedic is going to be more rule based. Rigidities are about to emerge. For particularly Shudras and women conditions are going to be less liberal in later Vedic. Next element. Next element within the society, ashrama system. In this, ashrama system, that means if a person take birth, they have to undergo certain stages. Every person in a society undergo certain stages. Ashrama system is not there, whereas here 4 ashramas emerged. Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasin. I am using Sannyasin above so that you will have special importance to this, because this sannyasi tradition, renunciation. That means the people are not happy about the social responsibilities. Some people used to become sannyasi and they used to wander and they used to get enlightened. Otherwise, it is a kind of social order. Some social order value, the rules are coming so that society will go in order. Every person, like initially brahmacharya, that means education, grihastha, family life, vanaprastha, that means people at the older age, they go to forest, isolated, simple life. And even if some people even want to contribute to the society through their knowledge and through their wisdom, they used to become sannyasi and they used to roam and they used to spread their knowledge. Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasin. But generally these ashramas are not allowed for everyone. Women are not allowed for this. For Shudras also not this, because they have to work for the other people. Generally, this is for Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishyas who are going to be part of Dvija. They were called twice born. Some people were called twice born. That means Dvija. First 3 sections, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya are called Dvija because they were allowed for education. Whoever allowed, one sacred thread ceremony happens before the beginning of education, and that sacred thread ceremony is applicable to these sections. For those people, education. If Shudras and women are not given access to education at all, then where is this education cycle? It will not start. Therefore, whoever are getting access to education, Brahmana, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasin. So this way, by 600 BC, what is the time period we are talking about? The time period we are talking is 1000 BC to 600 BC. This is before 1000 BC, 1500 BC to 1000 BC. That's why between this time period, many people became wanderers, many people became wise people, enlightened people, and it led to the rise of new knowledge, new philosophies in the form of Upanishads. And Upanishads started questioning some of the practices like rituals, whereas they are going to give certain new philosophies to the meaning, to give meaning to the life. They talk about Brahman, Atman, soul. What is the purpose of this life? When you are born as a human being, what is going to be your ultimate aim, ultimate goal when you are living? All these kinds of question and answers used to start in Upanishads. That is because of the tradition of education and also the sannyasi tradition. That's why many sages, Vanaprastha, many sages used to stay in forest and they used to think and used to give their wisdom to their children. Even children also used to go to Gurukul ashrams. There they used to get trained. So that kind of Guru Shishya Parampara, Gurukul way of education, all those started because of this ashrama system. So that's why ashrama system is an important institution during later Vedic time period, but in early Vedic time period that is not the case. So this is how overall Varna ashrama system means this only. So there is a term called later Vedic time period, Varna ashrama system. So far these are society of later Vedic and early Vedic were there. Society of early Vedic, Rigvedic, later Vedic. Semi-nomadic, people are moving, here settled, now more rule-based order emerged. And even kings were also expected to maintain this social order. So what are the social elements? You have to identify. So when you are writing about answer, explain the society of Vedic period means these are the sub-dimensions: population, family, human conditions, then make the map also to show what is happening where, and these all about various qualities or restrictions on women, then slavery, social hierarchy, and ashrama system like this. Education wise also, here Rigveda is the knowledge, and here apart from Rigveda, other Vedas and associated knowledge also given to the students. So with this we have completed this also. So far we have completed geographical extent, poor audience, economic life also done, next social life also done. In next coming videos, we will try to understand other elements also. All right. Thank you very much.